I buy a new computer. I open it up, push start, it boots up. That's the operating system. So I go to the store, buy a new computer, bring it home, start it up, boots up, and I say, now do something. You go, well, like what? I said, write, draw, spreadsheet or something. I said, first I have to put a program in there. If I don't have a program, computer's absolutely useless. No program, useless. A brain is a supercomputer. A child's brain operating system, last trimester of pregnancy, it's already working. I go, yeah, but what do you need to do? I said, before you can use it, you have to install programs in it. Because if you don't have programs, you can't use the damn computer. So all of us as children in the first 7 years of our lives, our brain computer is operating in record. Record what? Programs. I said, where do the programs come from? I say, watching your mother, watching your father, watching your family, and listening to the professionals. So I go, oh, let me give you the one about health because that's simple. I say, when you were a kid, in most families, if somebody was sick, what was the result? Oh, we have to go to the doctor. I'm sick, I go to the doctor. Mom's sick, she goes to the doctor. I said, what is the program you just got? And the idea is, when it comes to health, I'm not in charge. When it comes to health, there are professional people, and their word overrides me. Why? Because what the hell do I know? I'm just an average guy, okay? But the doctor knows. I go, oh, then what does that mean? In your programming, you have given up power over your life to the power of the words from the doctor. Why? Because they're the professionals. They know. Who am I? I'm not anybody. And if the doctor says this, then that's true. And all of a sudden I said, well, then you've given up power. I go, you sure have. Because now you buy a professional's power because it sounds very, very logical. And then I go, well, there's something called the placebo effect, which is a positive thought leading to a positive physical outcome. But there's something called the nocebo effect that says a negative thought is equally powerful but works in the opposite direction. So if I get a negative belief system from a professional, it will replace my control and give it to that professional opinion. That's what the idea is. The program is, oh, I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor, but the doctor knows. And so when it comes to my health, it's based on what the doctor says. And I go, well, this is a problem because if you get a negative diagnosis and the belief system is that that's the truth, the nature of the creative system is to take that so-called truth and manifest it. If you're told you're going to die in 3 months and you have bought the system, in about 3 months, your system will decline and you will die. Whether you have cancer or you don't have cancer, your belief will kill you. So all of a sudden it says, well, who are you getting your beliefs from? I go, now that's the game. Who are we buying these beliefs from? We changed our belief sources over centuries. We used to get the belief from the guys wearing the black coat from the church. Today we get our beliefs from the guy wearing the white coat from science. And I go, yeah, but these are manipulations. And now I didn't mean that there's no truth coming from them, but if there's a mistake, that to us, we don't see it as a mistake. We just buy it as a truth. Whatever the doctor said, that's true. And so what we have to learn is what's really true and what's not. We're not discriminating. We're just accepting.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing, but the doctor said so. The government said so. Boom.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Well, and I say, okay, look, point. Your life is blah, 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 every stinking day, blah, 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 blah. And then you meet someone special. Someone, you fall in love, okay? And I go, every day your life was blah, blah, blah. And then 24 hours after you fall in love, guess what? Oh, life is so beautiful. Everything is great. The music's great. The food's great. The love is great. And I go, this is called the honeymoon. I go, what's the honeymoon? It's a period after you meet someone that you start to create together a life different than what you had just before. I go, why is this relevant? And the answer is this. It now turns out that we know what the difference is. When people fall in love like that, they stop playing the programs. The first time in their life where they are now controlling with wishes and desires the conscious mind, not program, subconscious mind. I go, so what happens if you're operating from wishes and desires? I go, you manifested heaven on earth. That's where the honeymoon came from. That's where the healthy part of, the chemistry of love is health to the body. It releases hormones that enhance our vitality. That's why when people fall in love, they're so healthy. It's not an accident, you know? And I go, so why is it relevant? I say, look what happens the moment you stop playing the program. It only took 24 hours and your life was a completely different life experience. Now it's heaven on earth. Used to be blah, blah, blah. I go, wow, what happened? How did I create heaven on earth? I go, you stopped playing the programs. This is what science has recognized, that on a normal day-to-day basis, 95% of our life is coming from programs. But when you fall in love, 90% or more of your life comes from the conscious creative mind, the one with wishes and desires. And that's why all of a sudden I said, oh my God, my life sucked every day. I've met this person and the next day was heaven on earth. I go, it was always there, except you were not operating from conscious mind. We don't do that. We operate from subconscious program. And this is why the Jesuits, 400 years, told the people the truth and nobody understood what the hell they were saying. I said, what did they say? They said, give me a child until it is 7 and I will show you the man. I go, what the hell does that mean? We just said programming occurs for the first 7 years of your life and that these programs run 95% of your life. So if I can control the first 7 years of your life, I own the rest of your life. That's what they said. Give me a child till 7, I'll show you the man, because they'll create that. And so that's not new. That's only about 400 years old. But the biology now shows the mechanism of that it's not just a suggestion. It's a biological reality. And what we have to do is what programs are limiting us? I go, as I understand it, up to about 70% of the programs that we got before age 7 are disempowering, self-sabotaging, limiting beliefs. And then we struggle the rest of our life because we're operating from those programs until the day you stop. And the day you stop playing those programs is the day that heaven on earth begins for you. Because
so beautiful, Bruce. That was absolutely profound. I love that. That was beautiful. You're really in your conscious there doing that, saying all that.
Well, it's so important, you know, and then, especially because you want to talk about relationships. Look, I had shit relationship. Oh, excuse me. I said that word online. But for 40 plus years. I go, why? Well, where did I get my program of relationships? I downloaded the behavior of my mother and father in the first 7 years. I watched them. And so as a guy, I take up my father's behavior because that's what guys do. And girls take up their mother's behavior. That's what they do. And I go, so what's the relevance about this? And I go, Jesus, if you were programmed by my father for relationships, you wouldn't have a relationship either. And I had to learn that. I had to learn what was my failure. Why did my life not work out the way I wanted it? And then only to come to the reality and the biology that, only about 5% of my life is created from what I want. 95 came from the programs. And when I changed that, and I go, and here's one of the interesting things, because this is about men. Let's face this. I go, women get very upset with us at some point because they go, oh, you're so insensitive. I go, we were programmed to be insensitive. We were programmed as young boys not to have feelings, not to show emotions. Tough it up, man. Hey, see if you flinch. Hit him in the shoulder. See if he flinches. It's like, well, you could hit me and I didn't feel it. And inside you're going, like that, but I didn't feel it. And I go, so what was the consequence? So I said, what program did you learn? I go, you learn to become insensitive. I said, what value is that? And I say, you can't have a soldier who is sensitive.
Exactly.
If a soldier is sensitive, who the hell is he going to kill? And so you take sensitivity out of men so you can put a uniform on them and you can kill somebody with no emotion involved. Okay? Yeah, but that's on the battlefield. What about back at home? I go, hey, same program. I'm insensitive. I go, and then we look for relationships and they work in the beginning. I go, well, how come they worked in the beginning? I said, you stopped playing the program. And that's when the honeymoon began. That's why the relationships was so cool when it started. But at some point, you start to bring the programs back in, most of them being negative, and all of a sudden that honeymoon disappears. Now it's back into the same BS that we had before. And so what was the reality? And the reality is we have been programmed to operate under the control of leaders,
Yes.
whoever they are. Put this uniform on, go and kill people and come home and be a loving husband. Huh? Where the hell did that come from?